Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and hang out with you. First and foremost, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in chat. Thank you to Harold for hosting the stream. Thank you to Crazy Like Fox for renewing your subscription for 5 months. Also, you said, wasn't expecting that. Yes. As a thing that's happening is, for like most of December, there are holiday emotes. And if you renew a subscription or create a new subscription or gift a subscription or donate at least 300 bits to the stream, you unlock emotes for people in chat. And it's cool. And it is a nice way to give back to not only the streamer by subscribing, which is rad, or gifting, or giving bits and coins. You're also supporting people who are watching because you got to be in the room to get those emotes, which is cool. Yeah, so resubbing is always awesome. Very, very helpful for me. If you're using your Twitch Prime coin, you got to do it manually. Hey, Ultron's here. Hi, Ultron. Welcome, welcome. It is build time. We're gonna build and chat and hang out. 'Tis the season, as they say. But yeah, and you got to manually renew if you're using your Twitch Prime. If you're using just regular old cash money, you've got to. You don't have to do that, but you can click that button to let people know that you're, resubbing, and that's nice. We're gonna wait a little bit, see if a few more folks want to join us. We didn't stream on Saturday. It's been a couple days since we streamed. I was gonna do a Sunday stream in the afternoon and just sing some some songs in Twitch Sings. I always have to make sure I don't say sing songs in Twitch Sings because that sounds weird. Harold, Unplugged was great. I was there very briefly, but I had a great time at it. But yeah, I didn't stream. I woke up on Sunday and was like, you know what? I don't want to stream before I go to work. I would rather edit the panel video, which I'll plug in the middle. You can check my Twitter for that. But I wanted to edit my panel video and get it up as fast as I could, so that it was up today for people and up yesterday for my my Patreon supporters at the $5 and $10 level. But yeah. That Improvised Postmortem is top 5 Improvised Postmortems. Now, to be fair, I may have only done 6 or 7 of them, but this one is one of the best. It had an incredible crew. It had the most game developers we've ever had. Generally, it's a lot of comedians and games journalists. So to have actual tabletop game devs and writers do it as the majority was really fun. Great people that haven't worked together before but have wanted to. I know that Trin and Jacob have wanted to work together in some fashion, so that was really nice to put them together. I know that everybody wants to do stuff with Trin because Trin Garitano is the best. So everybody was amped to work with Trin. But yeah, it was just fun to mix and match people and Ben and Beej have a lot of improv experience together, but don't get to perform together that much outside of Loading Ready Run, very condensed the things they do on that. And their worlds also don't cross as much because Beej doesn't play Magic the Gathering, so they don't get, that is a thing that Adam often does, or with, that's more Adam and Ben than Beej and Ben. So it was nice to be able to have them do some stuff together as well. It was a fun show. If you've watched the panel at minute 51, 52, something like that, I go on a tangent. Did I expect to do that tangent? Yes. Did I think it was go as long as it did? No. But I do I do go on a tangent in that panel in an attempt to basically backdoor pilot a new panel that I want to do, yelling about anime that we love, which will be hopefully at PAX East, and I think it would work. I think that panel has legs and could be really good. So, boy, I haven't talked at all today. I realized I haven't spoken out loud today at all. Did a lot of emails, but I haven't talked to anyone today. That's weird. It's not weird, but it is like true. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll start building. I'm hoping more folks join us. I don't know. Harold says pretty good road quest today. So, I think considering that it was a lot of driving and a lot of poor weather, that there were a lot of fun bits in it. I will say that I do think that they should have put up a content warning, because while it was not while it was just a pellet gun, some folks probably don't want to watch that part of the episode. So I do think that Road Quest should have included a content warning, and I think they should edit their show description to include that going forward with that episode. I do think it's very fun, and I think that like it builds some drama the episode really didn't have outside of the shenanigans drama. But yeah, still a fun episode of Road Quest. Still fun, friends, having fun, doing things. I think the reveal was good. It's a good reveal from Alex, but yeah. Overall, I was like, I don't love this part. But yeah, we're in a build today. We're working on the Deathscythe Hell Custom. Got instructions here. We got some body work done on our Deathscythe. We're going to keep working on arms. I'm excited to do that. Going to quickly check the old Twitter. Got most of my tweets today were related to Twitch, which is interesting since we're on Twitch right now. So let's go to the overhead. Let's start building, and I'll just start talking about stuff. So yeah, talking about Twitch. I saw the Wonder Woman 84 trailer. That looked cool. Yes. Wonder Woman 84 looks interesting. It looks like an interesting direction to go with it. I want more Themyscira. I always want more Themyscira. Give me the island of Amazonians. That shit is tight and great and good. But yeah, it looked cool. And I think the touches were there, and I'm excited about that. I'm not as excited about the new Ghostbusters movie. Now, here's the thing. You tell me, director of the first two Ghostbuster movies, going to do with his third movie that Ivan Reitman's going to do a Ghostbuster movie. Paul Rudd is in it. I say, Paul Rudd's a Ghostbuster? I'm listening. Well, no. Paul Rudd is a guy that remembers that the Ghostbusters are real and cool. It's about teens. Reitman's son. Yes, Harold. Yes, you're correct. It is Ivan Reitman's son. Yes. You tell me it's about like, hello, epic open world. You tell me that the new Ghostbusters is about like young people finding out about ghosts. Okay. So it's one of the remaining Ghostbusters starts a new crew? No. One would assume it is the child of one of the Ghostbusters, either the one who is, unfortunately, rest in peace, not with us anymore, or not listed as being in the movie, so is not going to be in the movie because he's not in the movie. One of them, their kid, finds out their dad was a Ghostbuster. Okay. So there's two things about it, right? Grandson. Sorry, Harold. Grandson. There's two things about this, right? One, the part I like is the idea that so removed from uh, so removed from like what happened that people are, by their own nature, don't really believe that ghosts are real and that stuff happened. Because that's the plot of Ghostbusters 2, and that was only a few years removed. That they were like, ghosts? I don't know. I remember a weird weekend in New York, but also that's every weekend in New York. Am I right? Like, I get it. I get that. I think in the era of fake news, that's interesting that people are like, that was probably poison. That was probably gas or like some kind of weird thing. Or no, I don't know anything about that. Like nobody talks about it. I don't know. I kind of like that idea. Small town ghosts. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I kind of would rather still be in New York. And not like farm country. I don't know if I like that. I'll tell you what I definitely don't like. Now, is this definitely true? I don't know. But right now, IMDb lists the new Ghostbusters movie as being action, comedy, drama instead of action, comedy, fantasy. The Ghostbusters, original Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Ghostbusters 2016 are all listed as action, comedy, fantasy. So the drama part is the part where I'm like, it exists. The possibility exists that Ultron, you're right. It exists the possibility that the trailer is only going for the melodrama and the like trying to go like the children's adventure route, and is that is totally possible that they just didn't put in any jokes in the trailer, that the trailer just was like devoid of jokes because they were like, we're not going to put any jokes in this. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're doing or if it's just they decided the reboot of Ghostbusters, a comedy written by 3 comedians, starring 3 comedians and an actor who doesn't have any funny lines and is the straight man in the movie, that the reboot of that, if you're going to continue the story, not reboot it, continue the story, is that you don't do that part of the movie, is a choice. I just don't know. It doesn't feel like a choice that I'm into, is what I'm saying. Hey, in the Marvel movies, everyone seems to forget a portal opened above New York. Yeah, no, of course. Epic Open World, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the part of the movie that's the part of the trailer that I don't mind at all. I like the idea that years later, people are just like, yeah, I guess that happens. I don't know. Yeah, somebody told me something about the Statue of Liberty doing something weird, but I don't know. I didn't see it. So I don't know. Like, that to me is good. I like that. It's the part where they're like not making a comedy. They chose a reboot. Reboot. I don't know. Crazy like Fox. I don't like. I don't know why this is the way they're going with it. I have no insider information on that. I can't tell you why they're like, this is the direction we're going with this, but it is the direction they're going. What? But that is the direction they're going with it. So it's like, okay, like I said, it's also it's okay. It's okay, in my opinion. Look, I was born in 1980. The hype around Ghostbusters 2 led me to watch Ghostbusters because Ghostbusters came out and I was a child. So I did not watch Ghostbusters when it was out. So the second movie's hype got me to watch the first movie, and I really loved it. And I enjoyed the second movie. The second movie is not great. And people forget that that people don't like the second movie. The critics hated the second movie, and it's also not great. It's good, it's just not great. So there is green ectoplasm at Big Open World. Right now they have not revealed the Slimer, but they have revealed ectoplasm. So one could assume the possibility exists that there is a Slimer. I don't know for sure. So basically they're like, could be. Like, I don't know. I don't need. I've gotten 2 Ghostbuster movies that I really like. 2016 I think is great. I think the original is great. A good movie. An animated series that is better than it has any right to be. A second animated series that is way better than people give credit for. That was short-lived and just didn't take off, but is good. I genuinely very much enjoy the Ghostbusters animated reboot or sequel. Like I said, 2016 movie that I liked. Never had a good video game. Someday, maybe. And now maybe somebody else will get a Ghostbusters they really like. I don't know. Comics weren't bad. Never read them. Don't know. That's awesome. I'm glad they're good. So also, like, I also understand that I have my own biases. I have my own things. I'm in a weird situation comparatively. Because I can say that a very good friend of mine was the villain in a Ghostbusters movie. My buddy Neil is the bureaucrat in Ghostbusters 2016. He's the villain of the movie. So, like, yeah, I got a weird relationship with Ghostbusters. But, like, I got a lot of Ghostbusters that I really like. Do I wish that this next one, like, that watching the trailer made me giddy? Yeah. I do think that the reveal of Ecto 1, which is in the trailer at least, there to like pull my heartstrings, would have worked probably better if the 2016 movie hadn't happened. If it had been like that reveal, I think does worse in a world where we just had, like, 4 years before this movie's coming out, there was a Ghostbusters movie. Like, I think, so I think it does, like, that doesn't do it any favors, but also, like, whatever. That's not their problem. High C, Ecto Cooler. I don't know. I'm sure it can. It'll be a flavor of Red Bull or something instead of High C. Be like, Ecto Colder. Gatorade. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it just didn't do anything for me. And if it did it for people, that's great. I'm sure there are people that are just like, this is, like, here's what I don't want. I don't want people lying to themselves saying, this is the movie that the 2016 should have been. Because this movie is not what they wanted anyway. Like, the folks that were unhappy with Lady Ghostbusters didn't want Super 8 with ghosts. They definitely didn't want this movie. Most likely, they want very old Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray running around with, like, a couple young. They want Paul Rudd as a Ghostbuster, and they're not wrong for wanting that. No one is wrong for wanting, Like, if there's a scene in the movie where Paul Rudd puts on a jumpsuit, yeah. Yeah. Hi, Jam, welcome. Like, I'm up for that. I'm all for that. It's Paul Rudd. I want Paul Rudd. I'm happy Paul Rudd's in a Ghostbusters movie. I got nothing but love for Paul Rudd. But, like, nobody who was mad about 2016 Ghostbusters is like, this is the movie I actually wanted. No, you didn't. Now, folks that are disappointed in 2016's Ghostbusters, that maybe didn't love it, didn't think all of it was funny, like didn't think that necessarily it was, like thought the cast was cool, but maybe it wasn't all they wanted from it. Like, yeah, look, you don't have to think it was a good movie. I'm not here saying like, oh, well, if you didn't like it, you're wrong. Like, nah. If you didn't like the very concept of it, because you're just like, no. Like, one of my favorite things is people who are like, the 2016 movie shouldn't happen because these are comedians. Like, with a straight face. Like, this was in a video that a friend of mine sent me. And I don't generally watch these videos, but it was so incredulous because it wasn't like a tweet. You could be like, oh, that's a joke they didn't get. I didn't get the joke, or people didn't get the joke. This is somebody in a video, crouched in other things, literally saying, well, I just don't understand why they hired, like, people from SNL to be in the movie. And it's just like, do you think that Dan Aykroyd is a serious actor? Because, like, Bill Murray's been in some dramas. But their second city commute. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? It's not. Oh boy, yeah, it kind of broke my brain. So, people just like 2016 in the most vocal online way, a large degree. Yeah, Sexist Assholes. Yeah, epic. I mean, that's basically it. Like, look, I understand criticism of it. Like, people had criticism of the movie for various reasons. And, I think, like, I understood them, and, like, like I said, it's not for everybody. It wasn't the greatest movie, but I really liked it, and I enjoyed it, and I think the actors are fun, And I think, like, it's a fun movie. But also, like, to me, it's just, like, I understand that I don't know, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis were stripes. Yes, I mean, Harold Ramis was just like, I'm not an actor. I'm in Ghostbusters. Like, he's a writer and a director who was in that movie and had a great time making it. But that was not, like, the thing he wanted to do. But yeah, no, I mean, like, that's it. It's a bummer. It's a bummer for a lot of reasons, but the main one is that, like, I wish that movie had done better for the people in it, because Ghostbusters, a product of Asperger's related interest and obsessions. Dan Aykroyd had strong interest in both law enforcement and the paranormal, which converged in Ghostbusters. Yes, a lot of Ghostbusters, most of, if not all of Ghostbusters, exists because of Dan Aykroyd. Yes. Dan Aykroyd, who in recent years, obsessed with he's got a vodka brand with the paranormal, interest in the paranormal and aliens for his whole life, but it's become a thing that he cares more about than acting at the moment. It's called vodka, indeed, Ultron. has a love for it, has a love for Ghostbusters, has a love for what it did for his career and his friend's career. Is clearly like always been a big supporter of it. But yeah, and is happy to be a comedy actor and do comedies. But is certainly not like, didn't go on to have the. Now, has Dan Aykroyd been in dramas? Of course he has. Dan Aykroyd is fantastic in My Girl. Is playing an odd, interesting character in My Girl, but is very good in My Girl. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm certainly not here to slander Dan Aykroyd for any reason. So you're telling me Dan Aykroyd may appear on an episode of Ancient Aliens? I mean, Dan Aykroyd has hosted a show about maybe he hosted a show about Area 51? I can't. Now I have to look it up. Let's see. Aliens. Let's see. Dan Aykroyd Unplugged on UFOs is a movie. A UFO enthusiast interviews Dan Aykroyd. Lord Crashington subscribed. Happy holidays and keep up the great work, Pat. Lord Crashington, thank you very much for the subscription. Of course, Dan Aykroyd was in the movie My Stepmother is an Alien. And yeah, now people got some emotes. Lord Crashington, thank you for subscribing. Tier 1. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the emote. And if you got an emote, holiday emote, because of that, you can set those up too. But yeah, reminder, if you renew your subscriptions or you start a new one, it benefits me. That voice was weird, and I apologize. But yes, fun fact, My Stepmother's an Alien features a young Allison Hannigan who when Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the series came out, and she was in, I said, wait, I know her from that movie. Okay, whoa, Epic Open World just subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's 10 months. Thank you, Epic Open World. I just got a new emote from Epic Open World. Thank you very much for that. Also, Crazy Like Fox cheered for 300 bits. Thank you very much. Asma says, I would bet good money Dan Aykroyd films and produces his own alien-related show that airs nowhere. I mean, it's totally possible. I don't know. Thank you very much to both Crazy Like Fox and Epic Open World for that. Enjoy your emotes. I've got a few emotes now. Which is fun. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Alright, we gotta do the hand here. Moving on the hands. Yeah, My Stepmother is an Alien. I was talking about that movie. That movie is not great, but does feature Allison Hannigan, the young Allison Hannigan, as the titular stepdaughter. And I remember watching that movie, and then later in life, seeing Buffy and being like, I know that actress. I'm sorry. Fix this here. Okay, better. Coneheads was good. I'll say it. Ultron, I don't know if Coneheads was... Here's the thing. In the plethora... Now, there aren't that many movies based on SNL properties. The weird part about Coneheads was it came out... Blues Brothers got carte blanche for him to make movies. So he made Coneheads, which came out in like a long time ago. Or a long time after it should have. To the point where they had to hire an actress to play a daughter because they couldn't have, like a cast member play the daughter because it worked in a sketch but didn't work in real life. It doesn't... Coneheads isn't a great movie. But it's an okay movie. It's just not a great movie. Now, obviously, Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers was never a sketch. Blues Brothers was an excuse for comedians to be musicians. So inherently, the sketch was never funny. It wasn't. They weren't sketches. They were bits, but they were always entertaining and good. So the movie is great. The movie is incredible, unbelievably so. Wayne's World wasn't just like a premise. It was character based, and they built the world in their sketches. So it wasn't just repeating things. Sometimes it was repeating, but it was often world building and finding the fun in the situation and going in tangents in different directions. So there was stuff to do in Wayne's World, and the movie is incredible. Wayne's World 2, good, but not great. All other SNL movies, except for one, are based on characters that had already pretty much been run into the ground by the time the movies got made. To me, the exception is MacGruber. Because, one, there wasn't a lot of world building in MacGruber anyway. They had a lot to work with. And two, MacGruber is MacGruber is a parody. So you can then build out the world based on the parody, because you can then, if then, what else, the world that already exists. Because MacGruber isn't just like, oh, it's this idea. MacGruber is just MacGyver. So just let's keep parodying MacGyver and make a movie. There's a lot to play there and a lot to work with in that movie, which is great. I like Wayne's World 2 for Rip Taylor. Yes, of course. Dan and Abby talk about how much they love MacGruber. I've always remained skeptical. So, Epic Open World, there's a scene in MacGruber that I don't love, but overall, it is very fun. It is a very fun movie. MacGruber is closer to the subcategory of movies made by SNL people because they did SNL and they got money to make a movie. So in that regard, MacGruber feels more like a Lonely Island movie or a Mike Myers movie, in that, and less like an SNL produced movie, because almost all SNL produced movies are made in a summer for no money and make a ton of money, especially overseas. I just looked at Wikipedia. Never Stop Stopping is so underrated, Lord Crashington. I just looked at Wikipedia. I forgot they made a Ladies' Man movie. They did. It's not good. Is it bad? No. Maybe. It might be bad. But it's not good. That's a movie that didn't know what kind of movie it was going to be. And also, shouldn't have Will Ferrell in it at all, let alone as like an unlikable character. You can't put Will Ferrell in a movie when they made that movie and be like, people won't like this guy. People were going to like Will Ferrell in that movie. And it takes away a lot of the sting of that movie. Okay. Superstar should have been a home release. It's Pat shouldn't exist. That's bad. It's just bad. It is probably the worst one. I am now going to go to the list of SNL movies, because I have forgotten them. Blues Brothers 2000. That's a direct-to-video movie. That shouldn't be in theaters. Night at the Roxbury. Not bad. I will say Night at the Roxbury. Maybe it shouldn't be a movie, but isn't bad. Stewart Saves His Family shouldn't have been made. Even like a year after you make It's Pat, you should also not do that. Okay, that's all of them. I said all of them. But also, apparently, uh, let's see. Stewart Saves His Family was made. The budget is estimated at $6.3 million. And it made $14 million worldwide. So, or no, it made $912,000. So that is bad because there's no box office revenue for Elsewhere considered. So Stewart Saves His Family. Also, I bet didn't cost $6.3 million. I bet it did not. I bet that is somebody cooking the books to say that it cost more than it did. Because I can't imagine that actually costs that much. Here's my comedy take. I don't like Will Ferrell movies. Yeah, Lord Crashington. In 2019, It's Pat just feels like, who cares? Like, obviously, there are people in this world who still police bodies, who still want to know things about folks that are non-binary, or gender fluid, or trans, or transitioning. There are still people that want to know what's up, but the very conceit of what's going on, what's happening, like, it's just like, no, this is not a sketch or a movie. This should not be a thing. It's just weird and bad. In today's world, it's just, yeah, it does not work. Asmo, your take on Will Ferrell movies? There are a lot of Will Ferrell movies I very much enjoy. Now, do I think that Old School holds up? Maybe not. Do I think that Step Brothers holds up? Yeah, I really like Step Brothers. I know some people don't like that movie. I think that movie rules. There are Will Ferrell movies that I enjoy quite a bit. I think that Talladega Nights is unnecessarily mean. I think Elf is great. Yeah. And I think Will Ferrell is excellent in Elf. And it makes that movie better than it would be with someone else, probably. I think Will Ferrell being very childlike and also so big works for a lot. I like Stranger Than Fiction as well, Crazy Like Fox. And then, let's see. Anchorman. I don't like people that love Anchorman, but I like Anchorman, if that makes sense. Like, I think that you know what I mean when I say that. Like, I'm not a big fan of people that love Anchorman, but I am a fan of Anchorman. Yes. Yeah, Lord Crashington, when it comes to It's Pat, to me it's just like, I just envision Phil Hartman being like, and like waiting for the punchline of Pat saying if she's a man or if they're a man or a woman. She, because played by a woman in the sketch, which is why I said that. But yeah, it's just weird. I think Will Ferrell seems like an awesome guy selling his movies. Yeah. I mean, yes, Stranger Than Fiction is a different kind of Will Ferrell movie. And like I said, you don't have to like any of his movies. I happen to enjoy quite a few of them. Like I said, I don't know if I would like Old School in 2019, but I do think that I watched Step Brothers a couple years ago and still really liked it. It's also like, I don't know, I might be predisposed to really like John C. Reilly. I really like John C. Reilly. Told me John C. Reilly's in a movie, and I'm like, okay, all right, we'll see what's up. I think he's great. Yeah, I mean, look, there was a point where Will Ferrell was Like, if you wanted a comedy made, you just got Will Ferrell to be in it. So, a movie. Harold, have a great night. Good to see you, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for stopping in. So, Semi-Pro. Not Will Ferrell's best movie, by far. Do you know why Will Ferrell did Semi-Pro? Because the director of Semi-Pro, the writer and director of Semi-Pro, paid a person to mock up the poster for the movie Semi-Pro, which is actually a version they ended up photographing. It's based on this mock-up of Will Ferrell with an afro and a basketball, and Will Ferrell saw that and went, yeah, all right, I'll be in this movie. And I liked that. I like that Will Ferrell had a point in his life where he could be like, yes, I will do this movie. He did Blades of Fury, which is also not great, but has some great, like, Amy Poehler is incredible in that movie. Has some great acting in it because he was like, figure skating movie. All right. Mr. Bob's here. Hi, Mr. Bob. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. We're just talking Will Ferrell movies. I don't know. Yeah, Riley is. Look, I'm still bummed that people didn't love Walk Hard. Motherfuckers out there, do not pardon my language, because I am hot about it. It does bother me that people could have been really into that movie and instead were not into it. And it does bum me out because I do think that it's a great movie. So, Mr. Bob, people liked Walk Hard, but so here's how they. I want to put this right. So, Walk Hard is a good movie that people liked, but it wasn't the biggest comedy of the year, right? Lord Stockton's here. First off, hi, Lord Stockton. Lord Stockton says, I did background work on both Walk Hard and Semi-Pro. Hell yeah. So, people thought that Walk Hard was going to be a huge movie for John C. Reilly, that it was going to be epic. So much so that they booked like a concert tour for the movie. Like, they booked a tour of like the songs from Walk Hard with major people in the cast and a backing band. They really thought it was going to be huge. And then the movie did like okay and not incredibly great. And they did some dates, but they didn't do all the dates because it didn't make sense to do all those dates if the movie just did okay. Which makes sense, but it's still a bummer. Yes, crazy. Like, it is a tough one because, yeah, Will Ferrell, like, for a while there, like, Will Ferrell did a movie in Spanish. Okay, great. That's a weird choice. Will Ferrell was doing a Super Bowl commercial that only aired in one market for Pabst Blue Ribbon. All right, that's fun. I like that. Yeah, make some fun choices. Has an ongoing fake/real beef rivalry with his doppelganger, the drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers, who does look very much like him. And they had a drum off on Conan once, which was very funny. I generally like the choices that Will Ferrell has made in his career. And yeah, I don't love all the movies. I never saw Kicking and Screaming. Don't know if it's good or not. Never saw that. That was towards the end of that. Like I said, I think Talladega Nights could have been incredible, but felt mean-spirited. And then also, Will Ferrell, this is a TV show, not a movie, Will Ferrell as a Ric Flair inspired used car salesman is one of the best things that's ever happened. And his performance is so incredible. Oh. If they ever actually made a biopic of Ric Flair, a later years Ric Flair should be played by Will Ferrell, because he would nail it. He would be incredible. Epic open world. I agree with you. I don't think Anchorman 2 is a good movie. I also don't think the 2.5 movie that came on the DVD, because they had so much extra footage that they just because they filmed so much improv, they just have like a second movie, like a third movie. That's bad. They shouldn't have told people they had that. They're like, oh, we have enough footage to put out another Anchorman. It's like, oh, that's bad. That means you didn't have enough control on your set. Too much improv. Asmo says, late to the part of the conversation, but John C. Reilly in Hard Eight is an amazing performance. Yes. John C. Reilly is one of those people that transcends, because Paul Rudd is an actor who is funny. He is not a comedian by trade. He's always just been an actor who is in comedy movies and has a good time. Good timing, gets it. John C. Reilly is an actor who is incredible in comedies. But if John C. Reilly decided he was going to quit comedy and just become a stand-up comedian or a character actor, do sketch comedy for the rest of his life, he'd be incredible. I mean, obviously Dr. Steve Brule is one of the best things in the world, but John C. Reilly, it's that weird thing where, he's so good and so fucking funny. It's infuriating, but he's just so talented. He's just so goddamn talented. It's unbelievable. He is incredible. John C. Reilly is incredible in movies that are garbage. Garbage. Terrible movies. You're like, this is atrocious. John C. Reilly was good. That is the mark of a professional to be able to pull that off. Hello, Dirty. Welcome. Yes. Probably one of the one part of Tim and Eric stuff that I liked a lot. I mean, look, I have a soft spot for Tim and Eric because Tim and Eric is the closest thing to... So, I am almost 40. So, I grew up with actually watching public television. Weird public access television. I know it exists. It still exists. There are people that watch public access shows. Chris Gethard had a public access show that ran for a very long time and helped him be successful, and it was full of people I know and love. You can do that. People still do it. But when cable was just becoming a thing, people actually watch public access television. And Tim and Eric is, the Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job, is the last bastion of public access television. It is the last, showcase of that era of, I don't know, weird world, man. You can just fucking be on television. Sure. You do this? Great. It is a love letter to the weirdos of Los Angeles and also to public access. Bit too weird. I hear you, Alert Crash, that it's not for everybody. But I always appreciated that because, I'm from an era where, with public access, a teenager had a public... This exists. This is a real thing that I want to say. There's no reason you have any context for this, but please believe me when I tell you that a young teenager in Philadelphia, moved to New York, didn't have any friends, young kid, loved music, but didn't have any outlet for that, and like literally didn't have anyone in a strange city. Started a public access show in his bedroom, and it became so popular that it ended up on MTV. And now Jake Fogelnest writes for television, and he works in comedy, and Jake is a friend of mine. So, that's one of the reasons I know the story. But I mostly know the story because Squirt TV is a thing that fucking happened. That happened. Jake had the Beastie Boys and Beck in his bedroom. And then when it became an MTV show, they made it look like they made a set that looked like a bedroom. But he was still like that happened because of public access in New York, because people would go home and watch New York public access and watch this teen interview Beck about like bands that he liked. It's one of the oddest things in the world, and it happened. So Wayne's World, but real. Yes, Mr. Bob. It is a real version of Wayne's World. Jake would have an XM radio show for a while. He's done a bunch of stuff in music. He had a podcast for a bit that was really good on Earwolf. He writes for a bunch of things. Is a great dude, but is also my age. So I was watching a contemporary of mine live a dream. It was not my dream at the time, but it was still like an incredible thing. But yeah, it's real. It's a real thing that happened. It's unbelievable nonsense. The premise of Wayne's World is something. Yes. The premise of Wayne's World does need a preamble. Yeah. SNL tried to recreate it with Fallon and Horatio when they did. They had like a web series thing, and now it would be a YouTube show, and they do it. I remember those public access clips that Abby had on 440. Yes, that's an era. Like major markets would end up with bigger talent than smaller markets. But like you could just to get a show on public access, if there's an available slot, you just need someone that can run a camera. As long as you have someone on staff who has taken a course and is licensed to run the camera, and you get someone that can run the board, or you pay someone to run the board, you don't even have to do it. No one has to get paid as long as they're available. You can have a public access show. Also, if you want to do, let's say, a sketch comedy show you do once a week and you just pay the fee, you can just bring a tape in at the time, Super 8 tape or whatever, or VHS tape. You could just do that. You could just bring a tape in of your thing if you didn't want to be live. But people wanted to be live. But you could just do a pre-recorded. Sketch comedy group, there's so many people that started, they're like, yeah, my first sketch comedy group was on public access. I used to submit, like whatever. Like, because that's a way to do it. You could be on TV. It counts as television. It's public access, but it counts. It's a completely weird nonsense world, but yeah. I mean, my friends. I was lucky enough to be in a couple episodes of the Chris Gethard show when it was a public access show, and I'm very fortunate and happy to be included in that nonsense and that weird world. But yeah, Chris Gethard Presents is a show is still a public access show. He just presents friends of his doing weird stuff, and which is awesome. It's awesome that he can continue to do that nonsense. But yeah, nowadays you'd have a YouTube. Yes, that would be a YouTube channel, Epic Open World. But for a period there, and you would submit your comedy shorts to comedy festivals, and like Filet Film was a show that ran at Upright Citizens Brigade years and years ago. that was basically the premise was like, it's everybody's comedy shorts. This was pre-YouTube. Because if you made a comedy short, you just send tapes out to people to be like, hey, put this in your comedy festival. Put this in between other things, please. I have no other outlet for my comedy. I need this. Please, please, please. And you did that because that was the way to get your comedy out there into the world. It's the only way. Such a strange thing. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm doing this stuff long enough. Public says a little weirdness that YouTube does not capture. I mean, here's the thing, Mr. Bob. It's just that the shows on public access that you watched were the weirdest ones. And people are a lot more polished on YouTube. I know that sounds like a lie, but it is true that people are more polished on YouTube than public access. It's just the way it is. It's a weird world we live in where that's the case, but it is the case. So yeah, it is a strange world. But yeah, YouTube doesn't really surface it. You have to be really invested in weirdness to get the weirdness on YouTube. That's why people have programs that search for numbers, because the weirdest people on YouTube don't understand that they have to title their videos something so that people can find them, because they don't know about that. So they just upload footage from their phones. So IMG9 and a bunch of other numbers. People have crawlers that look for that stuff because that's how you find the weirdest things. People that are looking for unlisted videos and all that. Yes, .mov in YouTube. Yes, crazy. That's what people do. That are looking for that stuff. But I mean, people made careers on Found Magazine and Found Footage. People made careers on going and finding weird stuff and people sending them weird stuff and touring the country to do that. I mean, Weird New Jersey is a magazine about New Jersey. Well, Mr. Bob, Jeff Gersman had a public access show in high school. Was on a public access show. Yeah. Early Giant Bomb, and not necessarily current, but early Giant Bomb did have a public access feel. People say that their first, the big live show and Happy Hour, has kind of a variety show feel to it, but it also very much has a, to me anyway, someone that is, further, had a public access kind of who knows what's going to happen? Well, it's live, so it'll be interesting kind of vibe to it. But, a lot of direct-to-camera stuff. But yeah, a lot of their live stuff still has that kind of fly by the seat of your pants. Some of this is intentional. Some of this is unintentional. If the unintentional is good, we'll keep doing it. Yes, Epic. It can be an arduous process to look for the weird on YouTube, which is why, I don't really do it. Yeah. We're going to take a pause for the cause, folks. Thanks for watching the stream. We're going to keep working on this. I got to talk about some anime. I haven't really talked about PAX Unplugged. I'll kind of lead into that. We got the second hour, but I did want to just quickly do the old pause for the cause. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote. If you need to renew, please do that during the stream so that we know. So your name pops up and we can thank you. And also, you'll be getting emotes out to people, which is rad. I'm going to bring this up. So this is going to be pretty quick because this is got a little bit of a light audience tonight, which is okay. It happens. I was hoping for a few more folks, but I get that. So thank you for being here and thank you for watching. But we'll go pretty quickly. Um, first and foremost, you can become a subscriber. That helps a lot. Bits and coins always appreciated. We got Crazy Love Fox. Crazy Likes Fox just gifted a bunch of. We got a lot of emotes there. Crazy Like Fox just gave a gift subscription to 5 people. That is Alter, Smig, Disseminate Jersey, Jellery, and Hobby Harbor. All are now subscribers. And also because Crazy Like Fox just jumped to the top of the gift-giving leaderboard, we also have the benefit of a bunch of people got some new emotes. So thank you so much for that. I did want to say that I also have a Patreon. You can join my Patreon. That is a great way to support the stream. As Nightbot, my overlay, Streamlabs, I should say, catches up. Got a Patreon. All this is in the show description. But yeah, bits and coins, subbing, gifting subs, all that is super helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Crazy Like Fox. That means a lot to me. And folks, enjoy your new emotes, and I hope you continue your subscription when it it expires in a month. But yeah, this rules. Just quickly going through my Nightbot commands. Yeah, I got a Patreon. That's a way to support the stream. You could donate anything that I make through Patreon, through Twitch. Eventually I'll get paid out on YouTube for ad revenue. And donations goes to buying kits and equipment. I bought this kit. I will be buying kits in the future. I do have some kits. Speaking of ways that you can support the stream, thank you. Welcome back, Dirty. Another way you can support the stream is buying a kit off my wish list. I have a wish list on Amazon. And I put a couple things on there today, so we'll take a quick look at that. If you buy something on that, it comes to me in the mail. You can do it anonymously. You can put your name attached to it. Someone sent me Oolong's buggy over the weekend. I got that. I don't know who sent that. Thank you to the person who bought that. I still have Yamcha's car. I have to build that eventually, and then I'll have built all of them. But yeah, I put some stuff on there. I put some 144 scale high grades. Do I love building those? Not as much as other, but do I want to build the Gundam Justice Knight? Yes, I do. Do I want to build the new Xeon Gundam from from Gundam Spirits? From Builders Re-Rise? Yeah, look at that thing. I want to build that. Lego sets, all kinds of things. You buy those things they sent to me, I build them on stream. That is a way to support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. You don't have to, but you could. You could also get a gift card on USA Gundam Store and then whisper me here on Twitch the code to that, and I'll build it on stream. Solf, if you're watching, check your whispers. Come on, Solf. You won last month's giveaway, and I have not heard back from you. I want to send that to you, so check your whispers, Solf. If you're watching, check your whispers. So it's a way to support the stream. I have a Discord. You could join my Discord. It's nice. All this is in the show description on YouTube if you're watching later on YouTube. I have Discord. It's cool. You can join my Discord. And here's 2 links. Last Monday, 1 week ago, I put up episode 5 of Pat Baer's Anime Club, and that was a good time. I hope you will watch that if you haven't. Talk about isekais, explaining the history of isekai and why I like them. And then I just put this up today. It was an event that happened literally on Saturday. The Improvised Postmortem at PAX Unplugged. PAX Unplugged's Improvised Postmortem. An incredible lineup. A great show. We did tabletop and card games, fake games. It was really good. I really had a great time doing it. And I think it's a great hour. So if you're looking for a fun show, something to watch after the stream's over, that's a good one. And I recommend it. I am legitimately proud of it. I think it turned out great. I'm going to drink some water. Maybe you want to have some water. Drink some water. And then also, my latest emote, or not emote, my latest chat command, because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about maybe after the stream's over, maybe I'll get pizza later? I might go get pizza? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Thinking I might get some pizza. Thinking I might deserve some pizza. Maybe I'll get pizza. I don't know. And then, all right, let's get back to building. So yeah, consider becoming a subscriber. Consider becoming, follow me on Patreon. Support me on Patreon. I picked up some free pizza tonight. All right. Nice. Consider buying something, a model kit. It's getting towards the end of the year. If you're thinking about getting a holiday gift, you get gift cards from stocking stuffers or from friends or in your gifts exchange. You got an Amazon gift card. I don't need that. Buy something off my wish list for me. Indeed. Pizza indeed. But yeah, I'm going to get back to building. It's leg day now. It's time to transition into building some legs for these cool kits. So let's build some legs. And I'm going to talk about some anime. First and foremost, have a good night, Crazy. Thank you for the host, Urban Bohemian. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for hosting the stream. Never skip leg day. Indeed. So, I watched a few anime shows, and we'll talk about those. I didn't stream on Saturday, and I did not catch everything. I'm not caught up on everything that I normally watch. So, I can't talk about every show that I normally talk about. But I did watch quite a few of them. First and foremost, Fire Force. Some really good fight scenes, some good character development, some good you think you got this? You don't got this. Nice to see our sword knight, who's like, did I learn samurai stuff? I think I might have learned samurai stuff. That was pretty good. Things are going to get rough in the next episode. A lot of sadness with the Lisa character. But overall, it was pretty cool. Pretty good. Good support work. Expecting somebody to get hurt. Because it is a shonen show. So I am expecting there to be some sadness pretty soon. But I don't know. Let's see. Food Wars. Somewhat expected. We're leading up. So I don't know how the fourth plate is gonna work, because it's leading up like it's almost, this chapter is almost over. This section of the show is almost over. So I'm wondering if they're like gonna really take their time with it or not. I don't know. So good character development. Once again, this season started off, the fourth plate started off as one of the least foodgasm the show has ever been. It has gotten very foodgasm towards the end of this part of the section, which is not the best. And also, it did answer a question that I've had, which is, why is the wild weirdo going along with the totalitarian regime? Because I was wondering why, like, the fun fangirl was, like, putting up with this bullshit. And we find out. She's just trying to support her friend. She just wants to have fun cooking with her friend. So she'll be part of the Not Cool Club in order to do that. Which doesn't quite make sense, but it makes some sense. Did I pull the wrong part out? I did. I think I pulled... Yes. Pulled the wrong pieces out. Got comfortable, y'all. They say when you get comfortable, you make mistakes. No. Yes. Yes, these are the wrong ones. Pulled out the wrong pieces, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. And it wasn't. So much for me being able to do this blindfolded. But yeah, it was good. Let's see. We Never Learned season 2. So this was a tough one. So normally this show is like A story, B story. It's half and half. This was part 2 of like last week's episode was the whole length was just one story. This week's episode was the second part of it. So it's weird because it's like the whole show is about a love triangle. But my assumption is that they want me to be rooting for the girl who's not in the love triangle, but is aware of the love triangle. But she's also the character that I'm like least interested in her. I don't need her to be in the relationship. But it was good storytelling. I am engaged in the show. I was feeling I'm more engaged in it than I was previously because it is a show that I have liked, but this season has been kind of hit or miss. I'm more invested in where it goes. And as I always say, as long as it doesn't involve the teacher, I'm psyched about it because I do not like the teacher character and what they do with her. So I think she's in this next one. We'll see. But yeah, let's see. What other anime shows? Oh, Dr. Stone. Oh, man. This episode fucking ruled. I don't know if you're watching Dr. Stone. It's good. Couple season. We're getting towards the end. This episode featured, they're basically working on building cell phones or just long-range communication devices. But the Kingdom of Science was great. There's a lot of really touching moments. The old man, Crafter, is like, I feel so jealous because Chrome is like the young scientist guy. He's not, he's the closest thing to a scientist they had before Senku. Like, they're, science buddies. And the old man, the old craftsman is like, I made stuff like bridges and shields so people didn't think I was weird, but I've never had anyone, like a friend, close to it. And they're like, it doesn't matter that you're older than us. No, you're one of us. And it was like a really touching moment. He goes like, I'll make that complicated thing if we do that thing you did before, which is just like a walk-by high five. Like, it happens 3 times in the episode, but the like, yeah, Team Science, hell yeah, high five is like a motivation. Like, multiple characters are like, I want that, and it's just like, I don't know, it gets you. Like, Dr. Stone is certainly a shonen show, but in many ways it focuses on the adventure part of it and less on the like found family and interpersonal relationship stuff. Kind of takes a back seat to the like, we're doing some weird stuff. Let's have fun with this weird stuff we're doing. So when it does lean into that like friendship, family, like getting stuff done, heck yeah, we're doing it. When it leans into that, it's really good. It's the whole thing about like, oh, the kids want to help. The kids and the older people want to help out. They're like, is there something we can do to help? And he's like, I got a job for you. But they can't really do the job as well because they're cold because it's winter. And he's like, well, I guess I need to collect ash, so I'll make a stove. I'm definitely not doing that for you. And they're like, you're definitely doing that for us. And he's like, well, that's the best part about science is when you can help people accidentally. This is like, I don't know. It's one of those things like, is it a great show? No. Is it a good show? Yeah. Dr. Stone's a good show. It's nonsense and weird, but It's got my two favorite minor characters or new characters of the year are both Dr. Stone characters. So, like, it's got something. You're giving me a fun little kid weirdo, and you're giving me a buff old man. As I said, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You give me a cool, tough old character, and I'm on board. When I was like, I don't know about this show, they introduced the old man, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm sticking around for a while. So he rules. Into it. Let's see. And then, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Not my favorite episode. The last two episodes, not that strong. This one was very they were keeping a secret so they could do a thing. I like Reina is a tsundere, but she's a tsundere I like because she's so obviously tsundere that everyone acknowledges that she's tsundere. They're like, oh, you just wanted Mila to smile. You just wanted to give her a good time. You're jealous that she has fond memories with her old friends, so you want to recreate that. Like, ha ha ha. Like, I like that. I appreciate that. But it just wasn't that strong. It's not that they're out of ideas. It just feels like episodes 9 and 10 of like a 12 episode series should be building. Like, these feel like episode 5 and 6, not 9 and 10, if you know what I mean. Like, they should be building towards something at this point, and it feels like they're out of things to build to. And that's a bummer, because they've kind of like dealt with everyone's backstory, and they dealt with two of the modern things that they're dealing with. So it's like, okay, I don't know. I like the show a lot. It is one of my favorite shows of the season, but right now I'm not as invested as I would like to be in the show, and that's a bummer because I think it is really fun. So, I don't know. I'm hoping it'll get better. I did not watch One Piece, and I did not watch My Hero Academia. I am going to watch My Hero, and I will talk about My Hero on my next build stream, which will be on Thursday. But and I'll probably watch One Piece, but I didn't watch those two. Those are the two I chose not to watch because I had a lot of anime to watch. And I had to make decisions about what I saw. But yeah, that's the anime I want to talk about today. Got Black Clover tomorrow. Wednesday, bunch of stuff. Anime Dice Club. Excited about that. I did. So, dropped a piece. I teased it a little bit, but if you watch the Improvised Postmortem from PAX Unplugged, 50 minutes into the show, I just go on like a tangent about recommending people watch Anime Dice Club or After School Dice Club, not Anime Dice Club. After School Dice Club, because it is a show, it's an anime about tabletop and card games, about the love of it. Like from people that clearly love that kind of, those kind of games, and how rare that is. And I was like, well, that makes sense. I can promote that, tell people to watch that. So it's kind of fun to talk about that. But yeah, the panel went really well. I was only in Philadelphia for 12 hours. I got in at like 10:30 a.m. and left at 10:30 p.m. Got in, saw a bunch of people that I wanted to see, ran into. There's literally, my friend Ian is the only person I didn't see, who lives in Philly, and it's a bummer I didn't see him. He had a panel during my panel, so we did not run into each other. I was hoping I'd see him during the day. He's the only person I didn't get a chance to see, which is annoying because I did want to see him, but I get it. We're busy. It was nice to see people. I didn't play that much. I looked at some games. I did play Carcassonne, which you're like, Carcassone's been out forever, Pat. You can play that on your phone. Why are you playing that at a convention? Well, I played giant Carcassonne. Floor Carcassonne. Giant pieces. Was I sweating by the end of the game? Yes, because it was just big enough. But it was really fun and cool and a weird. It was like one of those things where I'm like, well, I know this game, so I could learn a game I don't know and maybe get a game together and figure that out. Or I could play something really weird that I already know how to play, but I'm going to have a weird experience with it right now. So I picked that. And I'm happy I did because it was fun. It was a cool time. Yeah, and I saw some people and demoed a few things and ran into some friends. It was nice. It was very funny to explain. People are like, okay, cool. Hey, so you're like 2-inch per side piece. So Dirty. I will find a photo to share. They're giant tiles for everything. It was wonderful nonsense. Let's see if I can save this image. Are you gonna let me save it? Yeah, you are. All right, I'm gonna put this in chat in a moment, or not chat. I'm gonna put this on screen in a moment. Oops. No, there you go. Let me save it. Okay. Now add image. Okay. Go. There we go. Here we go. So I took this on my phone, but you can still see it. That's the game of Carcassonne I played. It's big. Yeah. Yes, feet. Yes. I had trouble reading that, Dirty. So it's just giant tiles. You play it on the floor. It was awesome and complete nonsense. But I had a really good time with it. Just put that away for now. It was really silly and fun, but really weird. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. But yeah, I was running into people that were like, oh, cool. So, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like, no, I'm only doing the day. And they're like, oh, what time are you going back to New York? I'm like, tonight. Now, do I wish that I had planned better? Yeah, I went to a panel after my panel, and it was really fun, and I had to leave like as soon as it was over. And so I wish that I had like been able to hang out more, and like see a few other people, and like maybe like do something else. Yeah, I don't think I would have wanted to be there the whole weekend, but I would have liked to have been able to hang out a little bit more. And it mostly was just a bummer because when I got to the Philadelphia train station, it was everything. All the food was closed. It was like 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday. I'm used to New York. Let's put it this way. When I went to Penn Station, I got dinner in Penn Station at midnight. I got it at midnight, and I got food at Penn Station. I did not get food at 10 p.m. in Philadelphia when I got there for the train. Because it's an hour and a half ride, which is perfect. Perfect length for a train. It took me almost as much time to get back to my apartment from Penn Station as it did to get to Philadelphia. So that's why I just did the day trip, because it's very convenient and easy. And I'll do it again another time. But I did like kind of wish that. And then I went to sleep in my own bed on Saturday, so I still feel like I won. Because I was in my own bed, and that ruled. Instead of, an Airbnb or a hotel or something. So it was still good. It's just like, it's odd to be at a convention for a day. I'm used to like being there all weekend or something. But I had fun. I was happy I went. Like I said, I saw a bunch of people I wanted to see, and that was nice. And it was like relaxing. And then I was able to do the stuff I wanted to do on Sunday, and I didn't have to take any time off from anything, which is nice. Alright. But yeah, we got about a half an hour left in the stream. And I don't know quite what to talk about. If there's anything you want to chat about, feel free to let me know what's up, what's going on with you. We're working on feet here of our Deathscythe. It's coming together pretty easy. One sticker left in the kit, which will go on the waist, so we have some time before I need to put that on, which is good. Pretty straightforward. This part's the kit. It goes on like that. Looks cool. Probably my least favorite part of the Deathscythe is the pointy boots. I understand what they're going for. I just don't think it looks cool, particularly. But yeah. I was working on my Game of the Year list. I'm doing a Game of the Year list. Spoilers. I'm not going to say anything about what is or isn't on it, or what the numbers are, of course, but I am working on one. And then Frog Detective 2 came out. And Frog Detective 1 came out last year as I was making my list. And then Frog Detective Part 2, Chapter 2 came out today. And I was like, well, now I need to play that because I loved 1. And I'm like, but did I love 1 when it came? Like, I loved 1, but did I love 1 because, like, it was fresh in my mind? Like, in hindsight, did I love 1? But, like, no, in hindsight, I loved 1 because it's good. And I'm excited to play 2. I played about 10 minutes of it. And I was like, well, now I got to play that. I don't know if that's going to end up on my Games of the Year list, but, like, I really enjoyed Frog Detective, so I'm trying it. So I don't know. But did I like it more? Like, I'm not saying that, like, that it's in direct competition with things like this, but I did play Later Alligator, which hits some of the same, like, oddness, comedy, funness, whatever, indie-ness of a, like, Frog Detective. So I'm like, well, did that take up the slot for that? I'm like, no, but do I even care about that? Or, like, well, what does it replace? Like, I'm literally not putting something on my list because I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want it to be any more popular than it is. I like the part where the phone is possessed and the alligator came. Later Alligator, the jokes held up the whole time. I was pleasantly surprised. I am very harsh when it comes to comedy in games. One of the reasons why I think that Frog Detective works so well is because it is short. The first chapter is very short. So I was like, okay, I'm on board. Yeah, Later Alligator does not overstay its welcome. One of the reasons why I think What the Golf is so successful is because of the way I'm playing it, which is I don't play it for that long. I play a little bit and then do other things. I try to treat it like a phone game, because I think if you were like, I'm going to do 2 hours of What the Golf, you would get sick of it real fast. But yeah, having like a couple fun games on my list, like I have a few that are not super heavy, because there are heavy games that I didn't play yet. Like, I still haven't played Erica. I don't know if I'm going to get to Erica. I haven't played Disco Elysium, which there are some. You can be rough. You can be, there's some stuff in there. There is. Yeah, there's some games I played that weren't like that I haven't played that are like not super goofy, but I played a bunch of goofy games and liked those goofy games, which is what I needed in 2019. I needed goofy, silly experiences, and I got those, and I'm grateful for those. Also, like, my Outer Worlds Righteous Fury character is how I like to play those games, and I got to play that character. That is the kind of character that is, lawfully good, but don't fuck with my friends. I will go out of my way to murder characters that I think need to get murdered. As long as the people I'm with don't hate that. Oh, they don't hate that? Great. Uh, like, there's also my Fallout New Vegas character, which is like, don't fuck with me, and, things are cool, except if you're Legion, in which case I will go out of my way. I'm going to go out of my way to take care of all of the gangs. Anybody out there, take care of you. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And then my only big console game that I borrowed was I had borrowed a PlayStation earlier in the year to play through Judgment because I really wanted to play Judgment. And hey, Judgment's real good. It's a real good game. I highly recommend Judgment. It is one of my favorite games of the year. I will say, I don't know if it's still on sale, but We Met in May was on sale. And hey, if you like my streams, you might like We Met in May. It is a collection of mini games, and it is very good. It's about relationship stuff. And as far as a minigame collection goes, they're very good. They're mostly great. A couple that are not my favorite, but they move pretty fast. Nina Friedman made it, and she is incredible. A fantastic Artur, who is also not a bad person, so that's nice to support an Artur that is cool and good. So support an indie dev that you're like, I like what Nina's doing, and also I like Nina, so that's nice. It's nice when that happens. It should happen more often. It doesn't, but it should. I just got a PS4 for Black Friday, so I made it around and taking a look at Judgment. Dirty, I think Judgment is great. Look, does it explain enough why it's so much like the Yakuza games? No. It doesn't. Does it really need to? I don't know. The story is compelling, and the systems are great, and I really like the Yakuza games, and it's a lot more of that and plenty of weirdness. And I think it's very successful in its weirdness. I'm a big fan of Judgment. To me, the fact that my big budget games, when you talk about these are triple, my AAA games of the year are not one of my AAA games of the year is an Obsidian game. Y'all know, someone else will be working on my list if you saw a Call of Duty game. That is not disrespecting those that are enjoying this Call of Duty. I hear this is a good Call of Duty, and that people are really happy with this Call of Duty. That's great. It's not a game that I would ever see myself playing. It's just not. Would not. If I tell you that my list includes, Later Alligator and Untitled Goose Game, you'd be like, yeah, it does. Of course it does. Of course it does. That's very pat. I mean, honestly, my list is just Pokemon Go and Hearthstone. I did play other games, but we all know those are the ones I played the most. If it was most time spent, it would be those two. It'd be, and then Twitch Sings would be number 6. Been mainly using the PS4 to get back into Final Fantasy XIV, though, even though Spider-Man and Death Stranding sitting on the coffee table. Spider-Man, that was a good game. I came to that very late. I didn't love it as much as some people did, but I still very much respect Spider-Man as a fun game. Uh, Death Stranding, I have no interest in. And in fact, I do not look forward to hearing more about Death Stranding. If you like Death Stranding, if you love Death Stranding, awesome. No disrespect intended. But do I want to hear people talking about Death Stranding in a couple weeks when I'm hearing Game of the Year stuff? No. I do not want to hear any more about Death Stranding. I would like to pretend it does not exist. That is a pipe dream, and I understand that, and I get it. Especially for folks that really fucking liked it. I get that too. I get it. I also know people who are like, yeah, I played like an hour of the Goose Game. What the fuck? And I'm like, I can't make you like the Goose Game. I love the Goose Game. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not here to make you like it. I'm not here to make, whatever. Like, that's not my job. But I think the Goose Game is real good. Yeah, dirty, but whatever. Like, it's fine. It's just a game that, like, I have so little interest in that I don't want to hear people talk about it because I just don't have an interest in it. It's the same thing with Red Dead, too. Like, I disliked Red Dead so much that I never played 2, and then I was just like, I don't want to think about this game. I wish like I didn't have to think about this game because I was just like not into it. But like I get it. It was some people's favorite game last year. That's cool. Not everyone's gonna love everything. I have friends who, love rhythm stuff that really didn't like Sayonara Wild Hearts. Like that even though they love rhythm games, that was a rhythm game that just didn't appeal to them and it just wasn't interesting to them. I'm like, yeah, all right. I get, I don't know if I get it, but I get it, It's not always my experience, but like, yeah, okay. People don't love everything. People have different opinions on things. I get it. Like, face morphing, truly reveal good guy antagonists are real good. But like, I understand that, people who are like, I didn't play any Outer Worlds. I might love Outer Worlds. Or Outer Wilds. I played Outer Worlds. I didn't keep fucking that up. Outer Wilds. Like, I don't know. I know people who loved Outer Wilds. I'm sure I would like it. I didn't play it, so I can't. Like, whatever. I also know people that, like, for me, Control is awesome. But I understand how some people were like, well, the boss fights are bad, and so I didn't finish it. And I'm like, yeah, the boss fights are bad. It's still real good. I get it. Okay, Asmo says, news breaking tonight that MLB The Show, a Sony-developed game, is going cross-platform in 2021. I know not many people here will care, but it's a big deal for baseball. Kind of shocking. Sony give exclusive when the market 100% locked down. I wonder if that is a concession with Major League Baseball saying, hey, you can keep developing this game, but I wonder if that's it. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have access to deals or any information. That's interesting. But I think exclusive games are a tough sell, are a great sell for, if you are a console manufacturer saying like, oh, we locked this down, it's only available on this. That is obviously great. It is not that great if you are like, we would like to sell millions more copies though. So, And MLB The Show is probably not big enough to sell consoles to people that are like, well, I really want to play this baseball game, so I'll get a PlayStation 5 instead of, well, I own an Xbox, so I'll get this baseball game because it's a baseball game. That sounds cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is exactly the vibe people are at. And people are like, I'm going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get this console for my baseball game. I don't know. It's interesting. Somebody must have just done the math and been like, this is not the thing we're going to fight. Huh. Interesting. That's what I imagine MLB was involved. And I challenged that. MLB was a system mover. Cool. Yeah, Asmo, I mean, sports games can be system movers. You're not wrong. I just don't know if they are that and as much anymore as they used to be. Because I also don't think that exclusives are what they used to be. Because folks like it, a lot of gamers like push back on that. You know, they're like, I remember that a lot of talk last year was from some people who were like, God of War can't be Game of the Year because not everyone can play it, like that kind of thing. Like I don't necessarily, certainly don't think I agree with that statement because like exclusives are just part of a business. It's all business, and like so I'm not like saying, oh, I definitely agree with that, but like there are people that are just like, well, if you can't play it on the thing that I have, then I don't care about it. Who knows? Yeah, it's probably Major League Baseball just being like, we want more people to be able to play this. I don't know. Be interesting to see what happens, though. All right, we're working on legs still. It is still leg day. We have not skipped it. Keep going with it. We'll build for a little while, then I'll probably bail out. So my next stream is going to be on Wednesday night. I'm going to do a Twitch Sing stream. I was going to do it on Sunday during the day. I'm instead going to do it Wednesday at 9 p.m. I would love it if you could come hang out and play and cheer me on. I'll be singing some songs. I'm going to try to sing a bunch of new ones. I might sing some holiday songs. I'll have my hat so I can switch it on and sing some Christmas songs. That's coming up. Because I thought that would be a fun thing to do on stream on Wednesday. Because I haven't done Twitch Sings in a while. My voice should be great for that. And then Thursday will be my next regular build stream. There is a small chance right now that I will have to do that stream earlier than 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to stream on Thursday no matter what, but there exists a chance that I will have to do it early. I apologize for that. I will send a message out if that's the case. My regular Saturday stream will be early. This Saturday I'll be streaming in the afternoon, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a Saturday afternoon stream because I have my annual Christmas party I go to. I was invited to a friend's holiday party on Thursday, to which I said yes, and I said send me the details, and they have not sent me the details, which is why I'm not sure. If it happens, I want to go because, hey, free food and my friend, who I care deeply about, being able to see my friend is important, and spending time with them. And they were like, I would rather hang out with you than all of my coworkers. I like some of them, and I was like, that makes sense. So I don't know for certain. So that, like, I wish I had a concrete answer right now. I do not. But when I do know, I will share that with you about Thursday. Of course, I'll promote it on Twitter. Twitter.com/PatBaer is the best way to know when I go live because I keep stuff up to date there much more than anywhere else. Um, uh, all right. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up there. We got some leg stuff. We'll keep working on armor on Thursday. But as I said, my next stream will be Wednesday. It'll be Twitch Sing stream on Wednesday. So please join me in for that because it will be fun. That'll be a fun, goof, silly time. And then Thursday, don't know exactly when. Maybe normal time, maybe a different time. But we'll continue. I'm glad about the progress we did tonight. Crazy Life Fox already took off. Thank you so much for those new subscribers. New subscribers, hey, enjoy your emotes. Please come check things out. Make sure you also follow so you know when I go live. Have a great night, everybody. I'm going to play an ad and watch this ad. You know, whatever. Good John C. Reilly talk. Yeah, it was fun. All right, good night, everybody.